Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Mwah. So, happy Sunday, by the way. Today's Sunday. Like I said, I told you guys in my last video that I won't be posting every single day. It'll probably just be once a Sunday, or I'll probably record videos all Sunday. I haven't really decided on that yet. I'm still debating on what I want to do. I know for today I might be able to film one more video when I come back. So I'm in a little bit of different setting. I am in my bedroom right now. My bed is a mess, as you can see behind me. Don't worry about it, I have to make it. My sheets are washing, that's why you can see like the comforter and stuff. It looks kind of gross. We can go ahead and hide that. I don't know if that's a little bit better. I went ahead and opened my window. I don't know if it's a little bit of a glare. If it is, I apologize. Today's going to be a little story time about my stalker. Most of you guys don't know that I had a stalker. Aaliyah, my sister, my beautiful chocolate cream pie sister. If you're watching this, you remember that I used to have a stalker. You know exactly who I'm talking about. I don't even know his name, so I'm not going to be using his name. And even if I did, you guys know me. I'm not a fan of using names, so there's not going to be any names. I'm just going to call him It. Rosie's down here. Okay, so this actually happened in the house that I am in currently, my parents' house. This was when I was in high school and I was still living here. Most of you guys know we have two dogs. We have a Chihuahua and then we have a mix. I used to, back in high school, we didn't have Isis, which is the mix dog that we have. We just had Smokey, the Chihuahua, and I used to love walking him around the block. I thought it was so relaxing. He loved it. He loved going for his walks. So like I would take him for a walk after school. I'll take him for a walk like before dinner. I didn't really have a specific time that I would walk him. I would just like usually do it after school. I would just go around the block. Okay, let's get to the juicy parts. Okay, so anyways, one day I was walking around the block and there's always this family that I walk past. They're always outside. They're always doing something. The kids are always outside. They're always doing, hanging out, playing ball, whatever they do. I didn't really think much of it, you know. It was really nice outside whenever I walked my Smokey. So they were outside doing their thing. So I didn't really pay it much mind. One day, however, I was walking and there was a young guy sitting outside, and he was about my age. And he was just sitting there, and I walked past and I glanced, because you know sometimes when you like see someone or whatever, you don't mean to stare, you just like glance, like who is that? So I just glanced and he looked up and he stared at me, and so I was like, oh shit, he caught me looking at him. So then I just started walking the dog, and you know how you can tell when someone's like really staring at you? Well, that's how I felt. So like I try to be sneaky about it and try to like look over my shoulder to see what was going on. And he was like dead staring at me, like I was like, okay. So I go home and I'm just like, you know, that was kind of weird. People have staring problems. I have staring problems too sometimes. Sometimes I'll be staring at people I don't even know. So anyways, the next day I go for my walk, and like I said, I took my dog out for a walk every single day after school. There was like not a day that I missed it. I would always walk him because it was just so peaceful. That was me time. I didn't want to talk to no one. I just put my headphones in. I just wanted to walk the dog, think about stuff. Anyways, the second day I walked him and he was outside again, and this time he was like standing. He wasn't sitting on his porch. He was standing on his porch, but like kind of like where the street ends, you know what I mean, like the sidewalk ends. And it looked like he was like waiting for me, because he was like looking at the end of the block, just standing there. So I come up and he's like, and I'm just like, oh, okay. So then I walk past him and he goes, hi. And I look up and you know, I have my headphones in, but I know, you know, I can read lips and I know what this means. So I look up and I take my headphones out, and I'm a nice person. I didn't want to just be like, the fuck. So I looked up and I took my headphones out and I was like, hi, you know, said hi back. And then I started walking. I didn't think much of it. I was like, he's friendly, you know, he's just trying to say hi to me, whatever. The next day comes. He's standing on the porch again, or not the porch, but like the end of the street. Looked like he's waiting for me. And I'm just like, the fuck, like, okay. So then I walk past and he says hi again. So I take my headphones off and he goes, hi, and then I'm about to put my headphones in, but then he says hi again, and I'm just like, hi, you know, like you just said that, but hi. I walk home. Okay, so this is like all happening at once. Next day happens again. I take the dog for a walk. This time he's waiting by, so when you go to turn into the block, there's a stop sign. So you turn, there's a stop sign, then you go up that block. He's waiting by the stop sign, like right when I turn to go into his block, and he's just waiting there. And I'm like, ugh. And so then he like starts talking, but I don't know what he's saying because I have my headphones in. So I take my headphones out, and he was like, hi, and I was like, hi. And this time we're like face to face, where he's not like across the street. And he was like, what's your name? And I didn't want to be mean and make up a name, because at the time I'm like, I'm not a really mean person. Sorry, I have to get something just dropped. I was like, oh, my name is Angel. He's like, oh, my name is It. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And he's like, yeah, you're walking your dog? I was like, yeah. And then I start trying to walk off, because at that point, when I'm walking my dog, I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to text anyone. I don't want to be on social media. I just want to walk my dog, listen to my music, and think. And so I try to walk off, but he starts walking with me. And I'm just like, oh my fucking God. Like, not the fact like that I didn't want him talking to me, like I'm stingy, like don't talk to me, but just because it was like my time. Like I said, walking the dog was my time. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I didn't even want to text anyone on my phone. And so he just starts walking with me, and we just start talking. I don't even remember what we were talking about, but he's just like, how are you? That's a cute dog, blah blah blah, just like, you know, basic conversation questions, like what school do you go to. I found out that he was homeless. I'm not homeless, what the fuck. I found out that he was homeschooled. And then when he didn't walk me all the way home, he just walked me to the end of that block, and before I turned to go down my block again. So he stops me right there, and he goes back home. And walking home, I'm thinking like, you know, maybe that's why he wanted to talk to me. He's homeschooled. I know a lot of people in homeschool, they don't really have a lot of friends, because, you know, they're homeschooled and they don't go to public school or private school, so they're not able to meet people like that. And I'm just like, you know, maybe that's why he's trying to make some friends. He's probably lonely. A few days keep going, and it keeps happening. So every single day I would take my dog for a walk. He'd be waiting by the stop sign for me. We would talk, he would walk. I didn't really think much of it. He was kind of like, his personality was really strong. I don't know if you guys, like, if that makes sense to you, but like his personality came off really, really strong and intense. So it kind of made me feel a little bit awkward. Like he would stand really close to me, or like so close that his hands would be touching mine. I don't know, it was just really, really intense. It just made me feel uncomfortable. Like I'm trying to be nice, but you're like in my bubble and invading my space, and it's just kind of weird. Like back the fuck up. Yeah, I just got this like thread in my hand. I don't know why. Anyways, me and my sister, we used to walk to high school together, and she started noticing that, like, I told him about him obviously, and she knows what he looked like and stuff like that. So when we were walking to school, she started noticing that he would be like following us. Like he would be like, because we used to live, or we do live by a creek. There's like a creek down the street from us, and he used to be like waiting in the creek and like watching us walk to school. And I wasn't paying no mind to it, but my sister's very observant to her surroundings, so she noticed it. She started noticing him like popping up in certain places when we were walking to school, and she started like pointing him out, like, look over there. And I'm just like, and he would just be like standing there watching us, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck. And then another time when I was walking my dog, I had my headphones in, and this was getting to a point where it was kind of making me feel like really anxious and really weird. Like the fact that he would be sitting there watching us walk to school, it was just really, really strange. And so I didn't like that feeling that I got when I was around him. So when I saw him waiting for me at the stop, I put my headphones really, really, really loud, and I just looked down at my phone like I was doing something. And I could see from the corner of my eye that he was trying to get my attention. I just walked past him and ignored him. I wasn't trying to be mean. It was just the fact that I felt really uncomfortable. I didn't like the situation that I was in, so I was trying to avoid it. So I just, ignored him and walked right past him. And then some crazy shit happened. Not only was he like watching us when we walked to school, but my sister started noticing that. So we have a big huge window in the living room out there. It's a big window that you can see outside. We started noticing that he would be across the street, like the neighbor's house, sitting on that curve looking into the window. And my mom loves when the windows are open so the sun can come in. And so the only time we were able to close it was when she's at work, and we would like sneak and close it so we can watch TV without the sun beaming in. But like most of the times she would have the windows open so we can see literally out the window, and anyone can see in the window because how big the window is. You can see the whole fucking kitchen. And my sister started noticing that he would be sitting on the curb looking into the window at us, and just sitting there, just staring, just like, it was just fucking freaky. This went on for a long time, me walking, trying to ignore him, trying not to talk to him following us to school, him sitting outside of the window staring into us. It was just really, really weird, really, really awkward. And then me and my sister, we hung out with like this group of people around the neighborhood. We were hanging out, and he was there, like always. He's always everywhere. He was there, and we were all hanging out. We were all talking. We were all playing Truth or Dare. My sister truthed him, and he said, like, do you like anyone in this group? Because we knew that he liked me, because like, why would you be stalking me, And so he pointed at me, and I'm like, of course you do. And then my stupid sister dared me to give him a kiss, and at the time it was like I was around a lot of these people, and I didn't want to look chicken out and look like I was a baby. Thanks, Aaliyah, for that. Thank you. And so I gave him a kiss on the cheek. I think it was the cheek, I don't remember. I just gave him a quick cheek, and that was like the best moment of his life, because after that he started showing up everywhere. I'm talking about everywhere. The corner of the street, the creek, the outside my window. Whenever I go check the mail, he was there. He was just like posted there, like, what the fuck. I'm not really sure when this stopped. I think it was actually when I left. I still need to make a story time on the reason why I left, but I think it stopped when I left, actually. I don't even remember when it stopped or how it stopped. All I can remember is I left, and that's all I can remember. You guys are probably wondering, well, now you're in that same house, does he still live there? I don't know. I don't walk my dog anymore like I used to. I've walked him like about twice since I've lived here again. And when I walked him, he wasn't there. I mean, the house is still there, and there used to be like a RV in the front. That's still there, so I think they still live there. But those 2 times that I walked past it, he wasn't outside. I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him around here. I don't see him when I walk to work. So sometimes I come home really late from work and it's dark, or sometimes I go really early to work and it's like still dark outside because it's early. I haven't seen him then. So he doesn't stalk me anymore. I haven't bumped into him, which is a good thing. He probably thinks I'm still gone because I left, and he probably was like waiting for me. I never came back, so he probably like gave up. But yeah, that's my little stalker story. I know it's not like really intense like some of these other stories, but it is probably considered stalking. It is considered stalking because he would be watching me and my sister, watching me, popping up in places, like trying to talk to me every single day, ask me questions. It was just really intense. If any one of you guys are out there and you actually are getting stalked like this, and you are in a situation where you feel uncomfortable around certain people, you know how you get that feeling when you're really uncomfortable, get yourself out of get yourself out. Like, I shouldn't have talked to him that many times that I did, because I kind of like egged him on in a way, and then the Truth and Dare egged him on even more. I should have just backed out. I shouldn't have cared what the other people thought of me. I should have just been like, no, I'm not doing that. But that was my fault, so I kind of did egg him on. So if you are in that position, please get yourself out, please. And if it is really intense and it's like something that's going to hurt you, please let somebody know, an adult know, or the police know. Get yourself out of that situation, because you know, he could have been really crazy. He could have killed me and my sister, you know. So just get yourself out of that situation if you're ever in that situation. Anyway, that is it for this video. It's a really short story time. Like I said, I'm only going to be posting Sundays, so I'll see you guys next Sundays. If you like story times and you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe so you can see more. And thank you so much for watching my video.